Alright, we finally get into the game. And it's 3 a.m. That's great. So now we can fix this and say BRK Esports.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
There you go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hop into our final game for today. Best of 3 to decide who the best in Brazil is, at least for this week. It's got to be a pretty long next week as well.
Unrolling razor wire. 10 seconds left before insertion.
Noted playing, so that is noted.
5 seconds to go.
See the smoke pick on Chalet. Very normal.
Attackers' objective is to defuse a bomb.
The Vow, but this is something that's a bit weird. There's no Rook. And there's no Dock. It's a mute and the smoke. Now, I love the Fuse pick. I love Fuse. I love seeing Fuse. Just Fuse the best. So I just want to see more of them. But also the Buck pick is sick because, again, we're talking about that skeleton key shotgun can do so much to advance things in. And this is why you should always host with double spectator. Is now noted has gotten the kill on the Zagera. Not the best start. But you also see the Hibana moving up on the other side. It's Bullet that's basically covering the sides. Now they know there's somebody behind here. And they're gonna start to open up this wall. Transition coming around. And that is the Valkyrie up top. Can definitely land a quick shot here and escape or get both of them. Nesk has no idea. Oh my god. There we go. Turns around. It will take him down. It's going to open up the top side. And he sprays right onto the legs of the lower side here, leaving the mute. Well, Max fairly low on HP. Not sure what they can do after losing the Valkyrie. Such a huge part of the defense. Always is your roamer. You know, in Overwatch you have your tracer or maybe a defensive Genji, but most of the time your defensive tracer. On here, that is why you pick your Valkyrie to play these nooks and corners. The spray down, not enough to get the final kill, and that'll be Nesk to chain 2 in a row with the Hibana. Look at those ADS plays. There we go. A bit more of a standard loadout coming in from MOPA. As we'll be seeing a pulse picked out.
locate and defuse
by Zigera, and that's gonna be pretty normal. But also a rook. Now the pulse is, you can argue against the pulse on Chalet if you're defending the top side here. So basically your kitchen objectives. But in general, this is a pretty good pick, normal one, to be honest.
5 seconds left. Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Nice.
Attackers are moving out to locate
Definitely
bomb.
deserves destruction, but it's basically so they can get up top if they wish to do so. You're gonna see the rook always standing by the table here as a fat man like I am, and he loves his food. So I understand him perfectly. Oh, taking so much damage here. Hazel down to 50% HP. We haven't even started the round, basically. There you go. Kill one coming in with the buck. That's Yuk taken down. So the bandit is out of play. Still, damage done to 2 players. Of course, your buck as well is down to about 70% HP. There you go. Pushing by the Hibana Hazel. Now completely in control of the top side, breaking down all the cameras, and the first Kaido shot is going to be used to try and break on in. Checking out the defense is Zagata. It's going to spot out Hazel. He's going to wait until he stops for opening fire in a position like this, but he's going to be checking some of the drop points. Checking chat real quick. Yes, the broadcast is in English. And so it's Bullet still moving around with the Jaeger. And trying to find another pick. So far, it's been very passive outside of the entry frag on the bandit and also the damage done to the buck and to the Hibana, especially in the early game. 30 seconds remain, and this has to be the moment to strike. As you already see BRK setting in the thermite already off, and it's Zagata to get the kill with his C4 charge, but he's gonna get shot from the side as Noted comes in. He's half HP, remember that. He's gonna go for the final one. Can he get the Val? No, he won't, but it will be Valve Mux to gain the final one. And that's BRK to tie things up. There you go. Shuts him down with a shotty. But again, this is a best of 3 series. So map 2 will be coming up after Chalet, and that will be Bank. That was picked by MOPA.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Reinforcing the wall.
Safadal on Twitter tweets at me. And it's like, vamos a acelerar, hay que o Milos Severic precisa dormir. Yeah, vai dormir. Yes. Very close. I need to start waking up just for this final game. Oh shit, fuck. Okay, you know what? We'll work without the muffler. Alright. This is an unprotected microphone. I might get STDs out of it. Thankfully, I don't get too close to the mic like this. So, see Nesk along the outside here, trying to respond from the fire coming in from the inside of the building here on the Chalet. Not getting much as the Fuse trying to enter from the top patio. In the master bedroom, in the master bathroom. That is one hell of a that bathroom here is literally as big as my entire house. Can he spot the leg behind? No, it is right just behind the wall. Nope, jumping in. Trying to spot out Valve. I love the music. That music is great. I love that piano play. Just gotta spot out the leg. Nicely done. One. Gets the kill on Valve Max. And that is the refrag. Now Val now taken out of play. You still have the castle. Castle obviously the strongest with those armor panels. So it can take ages to go through. You're going to waste 20-30 seconds to go through his defenses. The UMP being fairly decent when it comes to damage, but not really the thing you're relying on. Especially when you have, you know, the Jaeger with the R416, or when you have especially an SMG-11 with a huge rate of fire. Smokes are going to be set in. One is right along the outside, and you see the Jaeger defense did help them. They're going to trade off 1-to-1, but it's a push coming in from Zigueira and his teammates has already get those kills here. Not too sure what Zig is doing, but, you know, it works out. And MOPA get the round 2-1. Bonsoir, Gur. Ça fait 5 heures qu'on stream. It's been 5 hours today. I streamed 2.5 hours today, and now 5 hours. In hindsight, I probably should not have done that. Yeah. Oh. Derp the medic. Sorry, bruh. I didn't steal your name. I've had this name on Twitch for like 4 years now. 4 or 5. Actually, 5 years now. Holy shit. So, yeah. Alright, so Zigueira always on the pulse, the Rook, Bandit Jaeger. That's going to be a very normal pick on the defense. There's not really much to talk about when it comes to the defense. It's just all the comfort picks that everybody's going to go for. Alright.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to go.
Shooting the plants, very important in the ready up phase. You definitely do need to shoot the plants. And if you don't, then those plants might grow weeds. And weeds are very bad because you're going to end up losing the pottery challenge, the flower and pottery challenge in your region, especially if you are English. Here we go. First Kaido shots are set in. They can definitely open these up. They move in, trying to take down the cameras. Nicely done. They're going to deny as much info as possible. Oh, this is perfect. He doesn't know who to shoot at, and he's going to get the pick and then run away. And that even will not be a complete pick. There's a better reason. I would argue that not getting the kill is an even better thing at this point, because you're delaying the enemy. You're delaying them. They have not gotten the... They're going to have to wait until you run away. They're going to be very careful, and then maybe they'll get the res. But there we go. We do see the res. Notice. He's on 50% HP. He's trying to move it. He sprays through the wall. Not able to get the shot just yet. Yuck. Out of mind. Not really. Out of sight for just a sec, but he's gonna get shot down. It turns into a 4v3 situation. Noted comes in and sprays yet again, but he barely avoids bullet. He's just waiting for him. They're in the wine cellar, and the wine cellar is no place for bullets. That's some really good music. Alright, Noted coming in. 50% HP after being revived, and he still is able to get those 2 kills. Zagata needs to use this pulse camera. Always. God damn it. One has not moved an inch this entire round. That's great. Here we go. Gonna open fire from the lower side. Will they find anything? They drop it right behind. He turns around unnoted, takes him down. BRK right behind with Bormax going down. Leaves Hitmax all on his own. The knife from Nesk! Are you kidding me? Oh my god. My heart cannot take this. It's a bit too late for me. To see plays such as that one. That's fucking awesome.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
What? Nice. This is why I love random people coming in and spectating.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds insertion. Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
So, not much happening within the entry. I love seeing the fuse pick, however. I would love to see fuse being used in a better way. So far, it's really the buck that's been doing the damage, and they've all been used together, at least on this map. Ah! So, Yuk still moving around with the drone, trying to get as much info as possible. The Hibana using her first shots of the X-Cairo. And here's the second ones as well. Bullet is right behind the wall, and he can definitely be overwhelmed. But everybody else from the defending side staying lower side. You don't really want to face against the enemies on the objective. Oh, noted. Won't get spotted through here. That is me seeing things. But on the dock, definitely quite a bit actually in terms of damage. But when you get insta-tapped by a bullet, you can't really do much at that point. And this leaves your Valkyrie and the smoke all on their own. The Valkyrie going down means that the smoke has to stay on the objective, and the thermite has already burrowed in. Gonna have to drop into the lower side and now make his way around. There we go. That's a 3-minute delay. And now everybody's seeing the Nesk play. And there we go. Nesk play yet again. Nesk 9-1. There's a reason why he was a god at Battlefield 4. And there's a reason why he is still a god, even in Rainbow Six Siege. 4-1 on map point. This is again our first map in the best of 3 series, so we will definitely see Bank, and I believe Bank is another really good map for MOPA, and it's going to be very difficult to knock them off of it because this is the BRK pick.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Ooh.
Ball reinforced. Place device. Device activated. Hardware ready.
Camera feed up and running.
10 seconds remaining.
Device placed. Device positioned.
5 seconds to go. Attackers recover the diffuser. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it. Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
Oh, finally an echo pick. Actually, this is a good question. Good question, Milosh. You haven't even asked it yet, but very good question. Why do we not see Echo that much anymore? The yokai is still as good as it ever was, and still extremely annoying. Not too sure. Now, the Ash removed. Losing the Ash is not the biggest of problems on Chalet, but it is a big deficit to lose her. Now, obviously, you have lost the Valkyrie on the other end, though. Yoke from MOPA coming in and grabbing kill number 2. That's a buck taken down. So, any potential penetration has been very much reduced. Alright. Thermite opening up here. I don't know what one was doing there. Now it turns into a 3v3. That was pretty bad. But again, the mute disruptors are already on site. Let's see them moving in. Zagera in the back with the yokai. Hops in with the bearing 9, gets the kill, shoots a second. My God, Zagera! That is way too much range on the Supernova. The Supernova is a goddamn sniper rifle, man. He's gonna get the kill, and that leaves the Satcher all on his own. Versus 3. Can Hitmax clutch? I don't think he can. He's already relatively low on the board. EMP nade being set in, but that won't really do anything Going in for the reaction shots. Not going to find much. They're even pushing him along the outside. He's going to get sprayed from 3 different angles. And that will be our first map. Good half. Or good map. Oh my god. Neri Genie is in the chat again. But you see Nesk just 9-2. This man is an absolute god at Rainbow Six. That is for sure. Alright. Now I move in to our second map. That'll be Bank. Again, it's a 1-0 up for Team MOPA. Millie's spectating. That's awesome. Man, look, Millie. If you wanna get in TeamSpeak, we can cast this just for fun. That'd be so great, guys. Do you want Millie Genie to get on TeamSpeak so we can cast together, like mix Portuguese and English, or we can do it only in English so Millie Genie can show that he's very good at being a gringo. Type it in chat, please. Alright, so by the time you hear it, we'll probably be at the end of the game, but let's see how this one is set up. So, we are on the lower side by the safe. So this is much more difficult for the attacking team to get through than what you usually have, you know, which is objectives on this level, basically, where you can get on top, you can use a buck to open things up, and this is why you won't see a buck right now. You only see, you know, you're gonna see a sledge, a twitch, very good. You need these reactions, you need the quick kills. Your sledge as well helps you break through the sheer amount of doors that are in this map. The Hibana is very good at breaking down, obviously, the reinforced shields. Your IQ can give you a lot of information as to where the enemy team, the defense, is hiding their equipment, the cameras, the whole lot, basically. And of course, your Ash, that's your basic can do everything.
Clearing the way.
And that's the thing, the Ash just is good at everything. She has breaching route, which means that she can definitely take control of breaching situations. So in terms of heavy offense, she has that R4C, which is very good at everything, basically. Has smoke grenades, which are extremely important as a support weapon as well. So I have so many things that go your way when you're playing Ash. It often seems very difficult to find a bad Ash, but you will definitely see. Whoa, what was what was that? Is that Hibana? Holy crap. Get it together with it. But you'll definitely see when an Ash is playing just out of her mind or out of its mind. I don't know, you know, how we call this one in this situation. Definitely not a part of the team that can be separated. But we are at a minute remaining here, and MOPA definitely need to start hitting the road and actually pushing down smoke. Already being set in. That's going to push them back and delay even more. Nisk along the outside again on that Ash, as we were explaining. And it's very important that he does not over-peak, but you know what? Perfect here. He gets the kill. And that is a very, very important kill on the smoke, and the rest of the enemy team just starts falling. He turns around as he hears the players coming in from behind. Hazel gonna get shot down. Very smart here as he recognizes that there was indeed a Jaeger. And before he goes in, he chucks a couple of smokes just to disable the APS. And then goes in for the breaching round. Oh, and he gets taken down on the objective. The Valkyrie all on her own now. Very low HP. Down to 10%, or 20% basically. Needs to turn around here and move through the bank and get to the other side. Alright, Millie, let's do it. Right, all on their own. Nicely done. Alright, I'm gonna have to switch off of here. I don't want people to see that kind of detail. I know you can see me, but that's okay. Well, not okay for certain people. Right, I need to plug things. I have two microphones. Crap, I should have probably thought about this before.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Alright. Now, let me send this information over to Millie. In the meantime, I can't believe we're actually gonna do this, but hold up. You know what? Let me just do this real quick here.
10 seconds remaining.
I need to do this for the entertainment.
5 seconds to insertion. Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser. Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and
Yeah, I've never seen a person just give less of a shit as me at 3:30 a.m.
bomb located by attackers.
All right, we'll get in a sec. Just give it a sec. Okay. Hopefully everything works actually. So far nothing's going on in the game, so don't worry about it. Hello? Yes. Alright, it's good. Mic is working. Which means I only need to wait for Manny. Alright. So far, nothing has happened. You see the pulse that's counting in. Spots one player from behind. Again, the defense being handled by Team MOPA. And it's Yuk on the Bandit. You have one on the Smoke and the Valkyrie for Nesk. Obviously, it's not a mystery that Zagera will be taking the pulse. Very difficult to take a 1v1 fight when you're at that range with a shotgun. We'll see what these drones can do. One now dropping in, has a shock drone. And he's trying to destroy the batteries, and indeed he will be able to take down one. Oh, here we go. Nitro's in from Zagato. And that's the first kill for him in this round. He uses the pulse perfectly. He has the position where he can play it very defensively. He can't open fire into the ceiling on here, but he's going to get flashed as they know exactly where he's at. Oh, but they don't turn around. Nicely done. That's Bormax taken down. Will he check right behind the wall here? He should know. I don't see, no, he does not see the outline. But there is one player, that is the Hibana, waiting around for him here with the bearing 9. If you can just dance around, and you can dance all day, you can dance all day. Flash coming in, but he turns it into Gata. Are you kidding me? He gets another kill. Perfect cleanup for Team MOPA. Alright, let's see if Meli's in chat. There we go. Oh my god, it's Meligini. Meli! I hope we can actually speak. Oh, there you go. Oh my god. Guys, we're being joined by the legend, of course, Andre Meligini. All right, so as soon as I saw you in the spec list, like, you know what, we have to make something out of this, and you know, I want to hear your professional input. You can do whatever you want, English, in Portuguese, it's all okay. I know, you're much better than what you think you are in English, that's for sure. That is true.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to insertion.
Why? Why in overtime?
Attackers have recovered their diffuser. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Yeah, Netsuka's really bad anyway, so I don't think it matters what he does. So he's trying to make, you know, do something interesting, just breaking the window here. He gets inside of the bank. That's one thing, but I don't think he's gonna be doing much after that. You know, I'm not too sure still about the new meta. It seems like teams within the new patch are still unsure of what to get. Sometimes you see picks that are really, really weird, but most of the time, yeah. I haven't seen much of them. I've only seen Castle being played on Chalet, the previous map we had here, and other than that, that's it. Montagne sometimes was used, but not at all today. He's very good. He's very annoying to kill, that's for sure. It seems like he does not die.
Stun grenade out. Drone activated.
Yep, that is true. They're so far just staying back and waiting to get picks, and getting picks is perfect for them here because they already took down the Jaeger, and the Bandit leaves the Valkyrie down to 10 HP. So your Lurker isn't able to do much, isn't able to get the frags. Finally they get one, but that's Zigera taken down. That's a Thermite. He's already used his charge and won't be able to do much. Valve taken down, so that's the Valkyrie out of play. It leaves the smoke and your mute, and really, the mute, after mid-game, within the round, the mute is basically useless because you can't really do anything versus those drones at that point. People are just going to rush onto the objective anyways.
Bomb located by attackers.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's why we don't really see mutes being picked up that much. I mean, yeah, it's really good to deny information from the enemy team, but isn't it better if you just had better information than them? That's, that's a counter side. That's why you sometimes would have,
Defenders, protect your bomb
they say,
diffuser
can't hear him
by
any Jenny.
attackers.
Oh, God. All right. Let me try to fix this. Maybe it was in the beginning because there's a delay. Let me just up. Let me up your audio then.
Camera in position.
No, it's good. It's good input. I've always wanted, like, this is the thing that I feel that has been missing.
5 seconds to insertion.
Having good input on, what's going on within the game, because as much as I would like to say that I play a lot of Rainbow Six, I don't have the time to play too much of it. And that's the thing that really breaks my heart, is that I know that the game is pretty sick, especially from the last time I spent a lot of time in it, but there's just not enough time to learn things from a player's perspective, especially from a pro's. That terrorist hunt is fun. I mean, to be honest, everything you get in Terrorist Hunt are just, those demo men. Just somebody running up to you in the beginning, just blowing themselves onto you. Yeah, I've had this when we were like, I was defending, and I had... It's so terrifying. I don't know who told anybody in Ubisoft, yeah, you should definitely add these guys. Because every time I played, I actually really liked Terrorist Hunt. Especially during the beta, and that was so long ago. Exactly. Alright, well, the Thatcher now setting down. Getting ready for an eventual attack, but Claymore can help you defend against one side, one door, so you can put your eyes on another one. But here, you can already see how Hitmax is very afraid of what's to go. They lost their buck, they lost their twitch, so in terms of fragging and their ability to go through the walls, it's very limited. They lost their Ashe as well, so the Ashe in general, noted as a player, is a very good player, and you lose him, you lose a lot of DPS potential on your team. You're left with Hitmax on the Thatcher and Bormax on his Thermite. So what can you do here? Well, the only thing that they can is use one of the exothermic charges to open up the side reinforced wall and try to actually get onto the objective. They're trying to peek bit by bit, but Zigata is already playing on the pulse, and he's ready for this. He knows exactly where they are, Medi.
Bomb located by attackers.
This is going dark.
Seconds left. Attackers located a bomb.
Very weird here that they, lost out with the shoddy, but that's what they have Zigata with the 1014. It's just so good at doing damage.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
All right, IQ. This is one thing that has been very interesting actually today. That I've been seeing a lot of IQ. And I think IQ is just being picked off of the fear of the amount of cameras that you have from Valkyrie. You know, obviously you have the Jaeger, the Bandit. These three that rely so much on their utility can be disrupted very easily by an IQ if all she does is run around with the electronics detector on and just scans for electronics.
5 seconds to go. Attackers recovered the diffuser. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
It's not enough. Yeah, it really does have it so it's a glass cannon team. So they can dish out a lot of damage, and they can use their abilities very well because their abilities are very good to break down very defensive teams, especially by having your Ash and your IQ. But they do sacrifice the armor by doing so. So it comes down to if they want to attack an objective, it comes down to how quickly they'll push onto it. So speed of execution becomes even more important. You can't just sit around because you'll easily get shot through a wall and you're gonna really feel it.
Attackers have located a
So
bomb.
see how they try to push into this one. Oh, just barely missing BRK players as they move in. They lose out to in this one here. So that's the Bandit and the Jaeger. Now, what do you think about losing the Bandit? Is that a bad thing, or does it not really affect you as a team?
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
Alright. Oh, there we go. Spots him on the ground, and that's it. That's well, Bullet 1v just turning around, getting the kill, and he cleans it. Saw him on the ground. There he goes. Sees the legs, gets the kill. Nicely done. Well, that's a